Wow, someone has already made an add-on to introduce the items and blocks that were introduced in the Minecraft live stream. So let's check it out. So here it is. It's the Trials Chamber Resource Pack or Behavior Pack, and the download link will be in the description down below. It's made by It's Dax, and of course, remember the MCP DL page will be linked down below. But other than that, it comes with a resource pack and a behavior pack, and it doesn't specify what experimental gameplay features it needs. So I just recommend turning them all on like so. But other than that, let's hop into the world to see the new update. Like I said at the beginning of the video, this only adds items and blocks that will be introduced in the new update. No structures or such. So let's just check it out. And also, it does not include like some of the more redstone orientated items such as the auto crafting table. Yeah, that's a mouthful. But it does not include that. But it does include a lot of the copper stuff and the trial spawner. So let's go over here into the first chest. This is all that it adds. So it adds the trial spawner, it adds the different types of copper bulbs, as you can see. It also adds polished tuff, chiseled tuff, tuff blocks, and then the copper vent and the copper grate. Now, if you want to know how you can craft these, well, it's pretty simple. For the copper bulb, it's just glowstone surrounded by copper ingots. For the grates, it's the copper in like an X shape like so. And for the copper vent, it's like a copper block in the middle. I put a wax block of copper here by mistake. It's supposed to be just a normal block of copper surrounded by copper ingots like so, and that's how you get the copper vent. Now, moving on to the final chest, this is just how you get the tuff related stuff, like the tuff bricks. The polished tuff is just tuff in a 4x4 grid like this as well. And finally, the chiseled tuff, which is just tuff bricks in a square-shaped format like this, which equals the chiseled tuff. So moving on to the trial spawners. Obviously, you can't craft this because you need to find it in the world, but I'm going to show you how it indeed works. So you're going to need some copper vents, some blocks of copper, the trial spawner, and ice or moss, whichever you prefer, because moss will spawn in slimes while the ice will spawn in strays. So let's find a nice suitable location to actually build this. So let's go over here. Let's actually go down here to the bottom here, and let's build it right here. Now you want to clean out a 4x4, 3x3 grid, I should say actually, and place copper almost like that. So like that. Make sure this is the copper block. Yep. The ice or moss in the four corners like so, and the copper vent in the middle. It's a very sussy vent, and we place the trial spawn on top. And as you can see, it has these little edges that lit up. If it doesn't, it means it doesn't have the correct configuration. So now, as you can see, that's how you build it. So reiterate, it's a copper vent with 4 copper blocks around it, and then the ice or moss at the 4 edges. So let's place this down again. Now, you do need to be in survival for this thing to trigger, at least in my opinion. So let's go into survival quick. And this one should spawn the strays. So if we walk up close to it, it'll take a few seconds, and then it should spawn in the strays. Now, of course, this depends on the amount of people and plays you have near it. As you can see, they spawned in the strays there. It does take a bit of time, so do take note to that. And let me just quickly, panicking, go into creative so I don't actually die. And now we just need to wait and clear up all the strays. As you can see, there's like also multiple waves to it. So you might have to clear out more than one singular wave. And do remember that the more players you have near it, the tougher and the more rewards you're gonna get. So if you want to know the more scientific details or the more detailed details to it, the MCP LDL page will help you out a lot. So this should be one of the final waves right here. There might be one more after this. And once it's done, it should spawn the items on top of this, just like in the live show. As you can see, for defeating the strays, we've got some emeralds that popped out from the top. Now, of course, it will have a cooldown for it to reactivate. So I'm not too sure how long that is, but it is a cooldown nevertheless. So let's just show quickly the moss version, so the slime variant of this. So let me show you quickly one final time to build it. A 3x3 like that. Place this like that. We place the moss in the corners there. We place the vent in the middle, and we place the trial spawner as such. We go to survival, we wait for a bit, and wait for the slimes to spawn. Pretty neat. As you can see, they spawned, and I've died. Now, before we end up the video, obviously I need to place down the blocks to show you how they actually look when placed down. So let's start off with the tuff variant. So this is the polished tuff. As you can see, it looks very nice and smooth. This is the chiseled tuff. Very cool. It has a nice unique pattern once you stack it up on one another or continue it like that. Very awesome. This is the tuff bricks. Kind of looks very similar, just slightly darker than normal stone bricks. Moving on, we should start off with the copper bulb. So this produces light, obviously. And once it gets a bit more weathered, it looks like that. Even more weathered, it looks like that. And finally, it looks like that. Now, of course, you can use an axe to kind of polish them back to brightness. So you can have it glowing and such very beautifully. Finally, we have the copper vent, which looks like that. You have already seen it. And the more interesting one, the copper grate, which I absolutely love this design. I think it looks awesome. So there you have it. That's how you can have a nice little sneak peek to the items being added before we get that beta that is rolling out relatively soon. So I highly recommend checking out this amazing concept add-on. Remember, the link will be in the description down below. And to the creator of this amazing add-on, go touch grass because you did this way too quick. But other than that, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.